we ran towards Tate, and the doors were locked, but they let us in. And someone said there was a shooter, and they were just staying still and staying put.
Did you hear anything, see anything?
About 10 minutes later, we saw an EMT truck pull up, and then they left with an empty truck. 2 minutes later, came back with somebody with a Lucas device, and the National Guard member was covered in blood on his head, and there was countless personnel around him, and they put him in a truck, and a minute later they were gone.
He was in a stretcher. We saw the empty stretcher go up the street, and then minutes later came back, and his face was covered in blood.
Was he moving at all? Could you see
No,
him breathing?
not moving. So I went to the bathroom and was going to lock myself in, and this family came over to also put their kids inside, because you never know what's going to happen in those situations. But they said, the people came over and said it's fine, this area is secured, so we felt like it was safe to not lock ourselves in. But at first that's where everybody's head was at in that moment. But I did feel very safe knowing that all of the military personnel and police were there, but honestly I had no idea what was going on for a bit.
Definitely sounded like gunfire, and myself and other people ran. We were across the street from where it happened, so we ran about a half a block down.
What was your thought while you were hearing those shots?
Kind of saying, are those gunshots? Pretty much, and then once we got about halfway down I Street, another round of gunshots were heard. So we ran a little bit further down the street. Then some people, security guards, started coming out. They were like, it's probably just construction. So I walked back to get my lunch to where I was before, and that's when I witnessed the scene. They had somebody pinned down. They were yelling at him to stay down. Then there was a utility truck that they moved. By this point, there was just one police car there, and they moved the utility truck on the other side. Unfortunately, for National Guard men, they were trying to resuscitate. And then there were a couple more National Guards that were kind of hugging each other that were obviously very upset about the situation. Yeah, it was a terrible situation to see. It was a little bit surreal at first, then I started realizing, and myself and some other people there, that our adrenaline was pretty much running pretty quick, because the second round of shots, made it very obvious what's going on. Thought it was terrible what happened. They were very noticeably upset. I certainly don't know the circumstances outside of what I saw, but it looked like it was very serious at the time, as far as the National Guard's condition, or at least one of them, the condition. He wasn't moving, and they were trying to resuscitate him. So, the other one looked like he was moving a little bit. The president's obviously going to have a lot more leverage when it comes to what's happening here. I'm sure it'll be addressed. I was actually at one of my other locations January 6th during the insurrection, and they blocked for a month or so, blocks away. You had to go through checkpoints. So my biggest concern is that the city is going to be a lot more locked down due to this. Basically, the president's obviously going to be using this as a platform to have more federal agents and military here.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.